You ever feel that moment when an entire franchise tilts on its axis? When one decision sends shockwaves that you can almost feel rattling through the walls of the NFL? That's what just happened in Cleveland. Forget the cliché depth chart updates or routine preseason adjustments. This was a lightning strike. A decision so bold, so defining, that it has the power to rewrite the very identity of the Browns. And trust me when I say this, once Kevin Stefanski opened his mouth in that team meeting room, nothing about this organization was ever going to be the same. I've got to be honest with you guys. What just happened in Cleveland? That wasn't a routine quarterback announcement. That wasn't some quiet shuffle on the depth chart. No, what we just witnessed feels like the ground underneath the entire Browns organization split wide open. A seismic shockwave days before kickoff. Picture this, Kevin Stefanski walks into that team meeting room. No music, no build-up, no theatrics. Just the head coach, standing in front of his men. He locks eyes with the roster, veterans, rookies, assistants, all waiting for the words they know are coming but can't quite believe. And then cold, sharp, straight to the point, he says it. Shedeur Sanders is our starter. Joe Flacco is the backup. Everyone else, prepare accordingly. That's it. No sugarcoating, no explanations, no debate. Just the words that immediately flipped the trajectory of an entire franchise. And in that moment, silence swallowed the room. Heavy silence. The kind you can feel pressing down on your chest. The vets. They gave each other subtle nods like, yeah, we saw this coming. The rookies? Their eyes darted around wide, like they'd just watched the ground move beneath them. Assistants already scribbling, rewriting practice plans in real time. And then, Dillon Gabriel, the third-round pick who thought this was his moment, who thought he'd earned it. He didn't say a word, didn't look left, didn't look right, just sat there, stone still. Then got up, walked out, and didn't acknowledge a soul. Guys, that wasn't just a quarterback decision. That was a culture-altering moment. That was a line in the sand. Now listen, I want to make something crystal clear. This wasn't Stefanski waking up yesterday morning and rolling dice like it's Vegas. No, this was weeks in the making. The whispers in the locker room. The pressure from ownership. The way Sanders lit up every single preseason snap. This decision was building like a tidal wave. And when it finally crashed, it changed everything. Sanders wasn't just good in the preseason, he was electric. He completed 76% of his throws, marched his offense down the field for 7 touchdowns, and every single time the ball touched his hands, the energy in the stadium shifted. He didn't look like a rookie. He looked like a quarterback who was born to do this. Now, don't get it twisted, Gabriel wasn't bad. By rookie standards, he was phenomenal. 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, rating north of 100. In any other season, those numbers earn you the starting job. But here's the truth. Football isn't just about numbers. It's about belief. It's about spark. It's about whether people look at you and say, that's the guy who can take us there. And Sanders, he made the city of Cleveland believe. That belief is already rewriting playbooks. Offensively, Alex Van Pelt is tearing out entire sections and replacing them with designed runs, rollouts, and plays built around Sanders' improvisation. Defensively, Jim Schwartz has been throwing the kitchen sink at him in practice, exotic blitzes, disguised coverages, trying to toughen him up before Cincinnati comes calling. And don't think for a second the Bengals aren't paying attention. Word is Lou Anarumo has already ripped up his game plan and is designing special blitz packages just for Sanders. That's the level of respect, or fear, this rookie is already commanding. But here's the real story, and I need you to feel this. It's inside that locker room. For weeks it was divided. The old guard leaning Gabriel, the young guns rallying around Sanders' fire. But the second Stefanski spoke, Miles Garrett stood up. And he laid it down plain. Whoever the coach names starter gets 100% support. Period. That's leadership. That's culture. And suddenly, linemen are telling each other, protect the kid at all costs. Receivers are buzzing because they know Sanders opens up the deep game. Overnight, the whole energy flipped. Still, there's a shadow hanging over it, Gabriel. He walked straight out, went to his car, and I'm told his agent was on the phone with Andrew Berry within hours. Trade request talk is already circling. And honestly, can you blame him? He did everything right. He played lights out. And still, he got leapfrogged. One teammate even whispered privately, if doing everything right isn't enough, what message does that send? That's real. That's tension that doesn't just vanish. And this is where we hit the core of it all. Power inside the Browns organization. Because for the first time in a long, long time, Stefanski made a call that wasn't dictated from upstairs. Word is Jimmy Haslam has finally stepped back, letting football guys handle football. And Stefanski? He just put his entire career on the line. He staked his legacy on a rookie. That's either genius leadership or the move that sinks him for good. There is no middle ground. And that's why this isn't just about Week 1 against Cincinnati. This is about identity. Cleveland could have played it safe. Gabriel was safe, but they chose Sanders. And Sanders is danger. Sanders is flash. Sanders is polarizing, magnetic, uncontainable. He brings pressure because every throw, every snap, every mistake is going to be magnified 100 times. And instead of hiding from that, he's embracing it. After the announcement, he didn't go celebrate. He didn't post on Instagram. He went straight to the film room. That's a statement. The Browns are not rebuilding. This is a team with a championship-caliber defense, a roster built to win right now. And in the middle of all that, they're handing the keys to a rookie quarterback with as much hype and scrutiny as any player we've seen in years. So let's call it what it is. This isn't just a quarterback decision. This is the defining moment for the Cleveland Browns. If Sanders thrives, Stefanski is a visionary. The Browns shed the weight of decades of dysfunction. But if he fails, the chaos comes roaring back. And me? I'm telling you right now, this feels like a ride Cleveland has never been on before. I've got to tell you something, and I want you to really let this sink in. The atmosphere in Cleveland right now is unlike anything I've ever seen. You walk into that facility, and the tension is almost physical. Coaches are speaking in hushed tones behind closed doors, questioning whether Shedeur Sanders is really ready to carry this kind of weight. Some of them aren't mincing words either. They flat out believe he doesn't have enough reps, that the sheer complexity of NFL defenses will swallow him whole before he even finds his footing. They look at his timeline, they look at the speed of this league, and they wonder if this move is coming a year too soon. But then, on the complete opposite side, you've got the voices of conviction. The believers. These people don't care about traditional checklists. They don't care that the average rookie sits for a year to learn. They say Shedeur Sanders is different. They point to his raw ability, his bloodline, his sheer presence on the football field, and they say those things break the rules. They say his aura, his command, the way he takes the field and instantly feels like the center of gravity that can override experience. And now the entire Browns organization is being pulled in two directions, stuck right in the middle of this storm. Inside the building, veterans are putting on a show, try to act like this is just another camp, just another season, but deep down they know everything has changed. The vibe isn't the same. The coaches are literally tearing up sections of their playbooks, reshaping installs on the fly, rewriting entire concepts to fit a rookie quarterback who hasn't even played a snap in the league yet. Tomorrow, when they hit the practice field, it's not going to feel like practice at all. It's going to feel like stepping into a new reality, because that's exactly what it is. And then there's Dillon Gabriel, the wild card in all of this. After the way he left the facility yesterday, silent, head down, storming out without a word, nobody knows where his head is right now. I've spoken to people close to the situation, and they're telling me Dillon Gabriel is weighing all his options. Everything is on the table, even something as drastic as a holdout. Imagine that, a rookie quarterback already considering stepping away before his career has even really begun. That is how volatile this situation has become. And while Gabriel's storm brews, Shedeur Sanders is doing the opposite. He's staying locked in. He's taking every extra rep he can find, every extra snap, staying after hours, running plays with whoever will stick around. He's walking into the huddle with a calmness, a presence that you cannot coach. That's rare. That's earned. But if we're going to understand this moment, we have to rewind. Let's go back to draft night. Jimmy Haslam stood on that stage, in front of the cameras, and he made his proclamation. To the casual fan, it probably felt like just another announcement. A new pick, a new direction. But if you know how organizations work, then you know that wasn't just about a draft selection. That moment shattered the balance of power inside the Browns. Overnight, the normal framework of decision-making was gone. Coaches lost their autonomy. The front office found itself undercut. Football decisions were no longer football decisions, they were ownership directives. That's how seismic that night really was. And then came the confrontation. Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel, two young quarterbacks on a collision course, colliding head-on. That clash was the breaking point, and suddenly, the air shifted. For the first time, ownership started to backpedal. The front office slowly began giving power back to the coaches. It was as if Cleveland had taken one look at itself in the mirror, realized they were 2 inches away from imploding the entire franchise, and decided to slam the brakes. That reversal might have saved them from the abyss. And here's the most remarkable part of it all. Shedeur Sanders has not flinched. Not once. While the chaos spins around him, he's been the one calm eye in the middle of the storm. Early mornings, late nights, diving into film like his life depends on it. He's begging for defensive playbooks, studying tendencies like a veteran. He's pulling receivers aside, grinding on timing, fine-tuning details until routes and throws look effortless. I've been told by people inside that building that his obsession with football is every bit as strong as his physical gifts. That combination, talent plus obsession, is what transforms hype into true leadership. That's how you earn respect in an NFL locker room. And believe me, the veterans see it. Some will tell you both Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel deserve their shot. But when you press harder, when you ask who they really want to ride with, more and more are admitting it. They want Sanders. They see the playmaking ability, the calm under pressure, the leadership that doesn't demand respect but earns it naturally. And still, through it all, this locker room hasn't fractured. Sure, there are disagreements, but there's no division. They've stayed united, and that's maturity. That's the sign of a team holding it together while the rest of the football world circles overhead like vultures. And make no mistake, the vultures are here. Every national outlet has parked itself in Cleveland. Every throw is being dissected like it's evidence in a courtroom. Twitter is ablaze with takes. Reddit is breaking down his body language frame by frame like it's the Zapruder film. Late-night comedians are cracking jokes about the Browns. Saturday Night Live? Word is they're already cooking up a sketch. This isn't just football anymore. This has exploded into pop culture. And that spotlight, it comes with pressure that most rookies will never feel in their entire careers. Executives across the league are split. Some say Cleveland is rushing Shedeur Sanders too soon, that the smart move would be to give him a year to hold a clipboard to learn the ropes. Others believe this is the new way. You throw the prodigy straight into the fire and let him grow in real time. And hovering above all of this, casting a long shadow, is Coach Prime. He hasn't said a word since Shedeur was named the starter, but his presence is everywhere. In the commentary, in the speculation, in the questions about whether Dillon Gabriel got a fair shake. And now we're staring down 3 possible realities. First scenario, Shedeur Sanders lights it up from day one. The offense explodes, Gabriel asks for a trade, and the Browns turn that into future draft capital. Scenario 2, Sanders struggles out of the gate, the critics get louder, and Gabriel stays patient, waiting for his opportunity. Scenario 3, Sanders is hot and cold, up 1 week and down the next, and the Browns spend the entire season trapped in quarterback controversy. None of these paths are simple. All of them carry risk. And let's not forget the ghost haunting this franchise, Deshaun Watson's contract. That deal still looms over the Browns' books like a curse. Dillon Gabriel's rookie deal is a gift in comparison, but if they squander it, that's malpractice on a colossal level. And now, by elevating Shedeur Sanders before his foundation is even fully set, they're betting the future of the entire organization on the hope that he can be a miracle worker from day one. But here's the tantalizing what if. What if he is that guy? What if the chaos turns into clarity, the dysfunction into genius, the gamble into the spark that finally frees this franchise from decades of misery? That possibility, that intoxicating hope, is what makes this story impossible to look away from. And the timing couldn't be more brutal. Because standing in their way on Sunday are the Cincinnati Bengals. And Lou Anarumo's defense isn't just good, it's suffocating. It's one of the most complex, deceptive units in the entire NFL. They disguise coverages, simulate pressures, bait quarterbacks into mistakes, and rookies almost never survive their first encounter. Joe Burrow himself has said it, rookies usually don't stand a chance against this scheme. And that's the trial Shedeur Sanders is walking into on his very first NFL snap. This isn't just a football game. This is a trial by fire. A baptism under the white-hot spotlight of millions of eyes. Every camera, every tweet, every analyst, every fan, all zeroed in on one kid in brown and orange, carrying the hopes of an entire city, trying to become the spark that flips the script. That's why this moment doesn't feel like just a quarterback decision. This feels like a cultural shift. It feels like the kind of defining moment that can shape not just a season, but an entire era of Cleveland Browns football. So when Shedeur Sanders walks up to that line of scrimmage on Sunday, when he takes that first snap against the Bengals, understand this. It won't just be about whether he completes a pass or avoids a sack. It will be about whether the Browns, after decades of failure, have finally found their guy. Because the stakes here aren't just high. They're historic. And no matter how this ends, we are watching history unfold right in front of us.